Hello and welcome everybody to the I Need Pizza Club and the Pizza Roundtable with the biggest pizza news stories of the week. My name is Michael Fox. I'm from Pizza Club. I'm joined by Jim Mumford. Jim is a cookbook author and I'm a writer. Jim, how's it going? Good to see you.
Good evening, bud. How you been?
I'm great. It's another great week in pizza news and I'm excited to talk about it. I did have a pizza slice today with actually our guest from earlier this week on Pizza Club, Sal from Lucia's, and it was really, really good. They're doing
Which location did you go to?
the new one, the Upper East Side. Yeah, really good.
Nice.
Highly recommend. They're testing a Super Bowl special, so that was fun. So I got to try
Good.
that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really
They're
good.
literal Super Bowl, right? This is the calm before the week of hell, right?
Well, it's a big pizza day for pizza businesses, right?
Pizza Super Bowl. Literal Super Bowl.
Wishing them luck. What about you? Any good pizza on the docket this week?
I made a Chicago pan style, which was excellent. Made a Buffalo style last weekend just for a reason to make it. Didn't help any of the Bills fans, so sorry. No other pizza. Might venture out to Chicago this weekend. Might get a slice of some of the favorites, but we'll see. We'll see if we have time.
Awesome. Well, keep us posted. I'm excited to dive into the news tonight with you. We are live, of course, on YouTube tonight, which is great to be back. Right now, Wednesday nights, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, but we'll be moving to Tuesday nights in March. More out on that coming up. So stay tuned.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Excited.
Looking forward to it. Let's jump right in. This is coming to us from Design Rush. Tell us what this is all about, Jim.
I love it, right? I mean, we talked last week about, a pizzeria in, Pesci's in Buffalo, basically guaranteeing wins. But what happens if your team loses? Well, you need emotional support pizza as well. And luckily, the pizza mecca that is 7-Eleven is going to have our back. So 7-Eleven is promising free emotional support pizza for losing fans of the Super Bowl next week. So pretty cool, pretty large collaboration base. Basically, they're going to offer targeting ads in certain areas, and if your team loses, you get a free slice in 7-Eleven, which, again, pretty noble, pretty cool, right? You don't see many spots offering free pizza at all, let alone on the literal Pizza Super Bowl.
No, I think it's a clever little marketing ploy to get people excited about 7-Eleven pizza. So, yeah, no, I'm curious to see how this does.
I will say, have you ever had 7-Eleven pizza? There probably aren't too many out in your area.
So I think they did a big push at one point to re-enter the New York City market, actually. So there were a bunch of 7-Elevens popping up, but a lot of them closed. I guess New Yorkers didn't take to it as well. Maybe it does well in some areas. Can't say that I had a 7-Eleven pizza that I remember consciously.
Yeah, and that tracks. So obviously Midwest, right? 7-Eleven's huge. I've had 7-Eleven pizza. It is exactly what you think it is, certainly nothing more. So my only comment is this really fair to someone who is mourning the loss of their team to give them 7-Eleven pizza? I don't know. Your mileage will vary, which probably depends on how long that pizza's been sitting in that little warming station. So all I'll say, it's no Casey's.
Okay.
It's no Casey's.
I mean, that's not saying a lot. I don't know. Maybe it is. I haven't had Casey's either, so.
Oh, like Casey's is legit. That they are worth they would be worth the 12-hour road trip for you.
Okay.
Maybe not, but close. It's close.
I don't know. 12 hours for convenience pizza. I don't know. It's a tough one, but
I get it. I do.
But listen, when you come to New York, maybe packing some Casey's in the suitcase.
There we go. We'll do a swap. I won't bring a Chicago or Detroit style. I'll bring Casey's breakfast pizza.
Right.
That tracks.
Exactly. Because a lot of those Chicago places ship anyway, so
Oh yeah, they're a Gold Belly, but Casey.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. There's $1 million idea.
No one's shipping that. So
no one's shipping that. Speaking of shipping things, I gotta tell you, I love this next one. I think it is really smart. So I'll just get right into it. Right, wine and pizza go together like wine and pizza. Right, there's just nothing like it. Domino's has partnered with Yellowtail Wine to have their own custom blend for their pizza line. I love it. I love every bit about it. I'm not a huge Domino's fan, not a huge Yellowtail fan, but it makes a lot of sense. I don't know. I think it's, Domino's has a promotion seems like every week, but this one I think's going to stick, right? I mean, it tracks.
Yeah, I okay, here's what's throwing me, Jim. And
Right.
maybe some
I'm sitting
people
down.
out and yeah, maybe some people have read into this and or will read into this tomato flavored wine. I mean, that's where I'm starting to wonder. Like, have you ever had tomato flavored wine? Is that
I
a thing?
so I live in
Are we being punked here? Is this real?
no. So I've got two comments. First off, I live in
Okay.
Michigan, which is a mecca of fruit wines, right? And
Yes.
there's a lot of different things. And I've had wine that's had different berries, it's had tomato in it, which was not as terrible as you would think. I am also assuming that they are not adding tomatoes, they're just adding varietals that have that acidic, fruity quality that would bring out tomato flavor. I am hoping. If they're putting actual tomatoes in the Australian wine, then I'm with you. We may have a problem. I am hoping that they are just picking certain varietals that may hit the palate notes. But as you say it, thinking about who's doing it, there might be tomato sauce in the wine, and okay, withdraw,
Yeah.
withdraw.
Look, well, we can hold out judgment until one of us tries it and
Plain
and or find out if this is actually tomato flavoring or actual tomatoes.
what is it? A liter and a half? It's like just over $10.
Yeah, here's a
Can you
picture
afford
of
it?
the bottle. So yeah, although those might be small boxes. So
A liter and a half of wine. That's going to get you there. And maybe that's the thing is after a liter and a half, you don't care if it's tomato wine.
you know what? Something tells me that you're on something. Let's see how this goes. I mean, this is a limited time promotion. I don't think it's a long term
I'll
collaboration,
get a
but
couple bottles so in a couple of years when I have nice guests over. Well, I do have the 25 Dominoes if you want, like that we could break into the Bordeaux or support, but I think this aged quite nicely.
okay. Domino's aged wine in your collection. You know what? That's great. That's great.
It would be on brand. That's all I'll
Yes.
say. For me, that red wine and pizza go to yeah. That's pretty on brand for old meatballs here. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like it. Should we pop over to this Bubbles pizza recipe from Women's World is taking us here? The
Yeah.
TikTok famous dish that's fun to make, easy to eat, and perfect for a crowd.
Oh my gosh. What else
Wow.
do you need? So yeah, so this one for those who haven't been blessed with the TikToks or don't read Women's World as religiously as obviously I do. So essentially this is it's a pizza casserole where you take pre-made refrigerator biscuits and that is your dough, and then you top it traditionally with pizza and then you bake it. So it's somewhere between a pizza, biscuits and gravy, and like a pizza puff somewhere in the middle. I have made something very similar to this. Omaha style pizza, of all things, uses a base that is biscuit like. And though maybe not this thick, the flavors are pretty similar. So I don't hate it. Perfect for kids, right? Kind of a come home from snack. This is the modern pizza bagel kind of thing. Are you gonna find it in the Upper East Side? Probably not. Would this pair nicely with a liter and a half of Yellowtail wine? Maybe, maybe.
You're connecting these stories really well tonight, Chip.
That's what I do. I would say the biscuits, right? Because they're not going to be yeast leavened. They're going to be higher in fat.
Got it.
I don't think this is a porn, right? There are some trends that are. I don't
Yeah.
think this is that bad. You gotta know what this is. My only concern is moisture, right? That you've got a lot of it in there.
Yeah.
And that might be a little hard to nail. But again, I don't hate it. You know what it is. I'm sure my 7-year-old would love this.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, sometimes you need to get there on the table in 15 minutes. So
Yeah.
opening the tube of biscuits is so fun, right? You feel like you explode, you die a little bit inside when it pops. There's no human experience quite like it. I know
Yeah.
you eat refrigerator biscuits, what, twice a day? 3 times?
Every day. Yeah.
Every day.
In fact, as soon as we get off here, it's like biscuit time.
Love it.
It's pizza adjacent. It's not technically pizza, right? But it's pizza. But
it's closer to some of the things we've covered. Love it.
Moving on.
So for again, Marco's Pizza, you fan? Not a fan? Familiar?
Again, not really around my area, but I know Marco's Pizza.
Hey, Marco's nice pie. Again, Midwest huge for a chain. It's very nice, just hand tossed. Their cheesy bread's very nice. So no beef with Marco's, but what I like about this article, what it goes into is basically Marcos is going all in on technology, right? Using the customer interface to really kind of take it to the next level. Right now, if you think of who has the best app for ordering pizza, it's Domino's and everyone else. But it's 2025, right? When was the last time you called and ordered pizza? I can't. Either you go in or you click some buttons on your phone. So maybe a little, better late than never. But I think it's interesting, right? They're looking at using AI in the drive-through, which again, right, could certainly help with labor, lowering the bottom line. And it's, instead of being customer facing, they also want to be employee experience, which again, you don't hear that often, right? It's also always customer experience, but how do we entice these franchisees to really kind of open up? And difference between a successful spot and not successful spot could be 2 people's labor a week, right? So it's pretty interesting to say, all right, we're going to go all in with AI, and IT, and see how streamlined we can really make a pizza process. It's interesting.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think at the core of like a lot of these franchise type businesses or these large chains, they have to have the technology part really, it's got to be tight, because I think there's an expectation that you're gonna, have, I guess that's what people expect from these types of establishments. If I go to my local pizzeria, this isn't the game they're playing, but so it's a different kind of customer expectation. I don't know if that's right, but yeah. Versus the experience is going to be totally different. So curious to see how this goes. Maybe you could check it out and let us know when they roll.
Well, I'd have to probably be an employee, but I've done crazier.
Yeah. Well, you can go undercover. Oh, it's all part of
the show, bud.
So yeah, it's for pizza research. Next up, this is from Fox 32 in Chicago.
Big fan of Fox.
Yeah.
So growing up, we watched Chicago stations.
This is your local.
I'm a good Chicago boy, so I think this is cool. So again, preface, right? Chicago's got all these great pizzerias, and again, when I lived there, I didn't think Little Caesars was something that was as prevalent as it is certainly when I'm here in Michigan. But they're trying to change that. And they're saying, listen, first 100 customers in New Chicago area Little Caesars, free pizza for a year. Not one pizza, my friend. Free pizza for a year. That's a lot of hot and ready pizza. So first 100 customers at Olympia Fields, which is it's out there, south suburbs, but still Chicago area. First 100 people, free pizza for a year, coupons, wait in line. But the only thing is, it's pretty cold this time of year. Free pizza for a year. I'd wait. How long would you wait outside for free Little Caesars for a year?
What's the temperature right now in Chicago?
Right now, it's in the mid-20s probably.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, that's tough. Like, that's cold. I mean, I'm sure anyone listening in the southern part of the U.S. or anywhere in a warmer climate will be like, hell no, I'm not waiting outside for free pizza. I'm sorry. I don't know. What do you want out of life? Do you want to have Little Caesars for a year? Can you get it every day? I mean, is this your diet? Is this your diet?
One a week. It wouldn't be a diet. Listen, I do it for the story alone. And I have done many, way outside first 100. Listen, Chick-fil-A opened up in my hometown, first 100, right there, camped all night. Great story. Great time with the buds. Granted, I was like 18, so I had a lot of time to kill. But listen, it's fun. It's a good promo, right? It gets your name out, right? Trying to establish yourself. And, they also mentioned in the article they're giving away some to some local schools, right? So there's a little altruism there. I think it's a win across the board.
Yeah. It's a clever promotion, because a lot of restaurants, when they do grand openings, they'll do like free food, or they'll do some sort of like giveaway. This is, higher stakes kind of giveaway. Curious to know how early people lined up to get there and get their spot. People probably got there really early and froze it out. So we'll see.
Thaw out with a nice Andre.
Yes, this is true.
You got a good one.
We've got popular New York pizzeria opens first Chicago location.
We're Chicago content. So
NBC
before we get you let me pick them this week. So I'll ask: have you been to the original location of this establishment? I'm assuming
I have.
And
yes,
rating? What were Michael's? How many stars?
Well, I don't do ratings. First of all, let's get that out of the way.
Respect. Absolutely.
I'm not a
Apologize.
pizza reviewer. I don't want to be a pizza reviewer. I'm a fan of pizza. I like their pizza. It's a square. It's good. Some people really like the pepperoni squares. That's like, I think, the popular one. But I really like their, I think it's tomato square. Yeah, it's really good.
So I'd say to those maybe not familiar, this is Prince Street Pizza. Has opened up their a new location in Chicago proper, and is by all accounts crushing it. So when I said I was going to drive over to Chicago for a slice, I was kind of alluding to maybe even stopping by and seeing. So I've had the original. It's awesome. Again, everyone that said everything is said, this is very true. My understanding is they actually installed in a professional water purifier, right, to help mimic the water, which is a real thing. First time I ever came to the show, we talked about New York water at nauseum, so it's a thing. And it really seems like they're committed to keeping it as it is in your neck of the woods, which complete respect. Not just the following it in second location. They're definitely all in.
Can we? We're not going to go on a tangent too much about the water,
Let's go.
but since you brought it up, I mean, I know the water is different in Chicago and different water source, but people talk about like bringing in New York water, importing it in. I mean, I don't know. That seems a little extreme to me.
It is extreme. What I will say is a lot of city waters have a lot of hard minerals and a lot of chlorine that if your recipe is based off of New York water, which is relatively clean, and then you try to make it somewhere else, it's going to be different. And you're going to have different rise and you're going to have different crumb. And again, for a place where you're trying to tell people we are like the mothership out east, right? You're going to have a hard time recreating precisely. To the average person, maybe they won't see it. To a connoisseur, U of I, maybe, right? So okay. I do think the water does matter. Now, would bottled water you use be 98% there? Yeah. I mean, it would. Let's face it. A lot of my recipes call for bottled water or heavily filtered. But again, if you're going to recreate an experience, they're going the extra mile and they're taking that care, right? Is it about the water itself? Maybe not. It just shows that they're looking at every detail. You got to respect it.
Okay. All right. That's a good answer.
Literally, I am a regional pizza expert who's also a chemical engineer. I don't know there's another person on the planet who is more qualified to answer this, just in my humble brag 2 cents.
No, I agree. And I think that's why I'm curious to get your perspective, because I think importing the water is a little bit crazy.
It's a little silly.
If you want to do some filtration and add some minerals, I guess, like if that makes you feel like you're getting closer, but a lot of people say it's not the water, it's the pizza maker. So I feel like it's a balance too, but I understand that they're trying to like mimic what they do in other locations. So I'm curious to see if they've done tests to see like how different can you tell if you just did local tap water versus filtration? If that would be, to me, more interesting, is like, can you really even tell the difference? And even based on the same recipe that they're doing in New York versus Chicago, or bring some pizza from New York, reheat it and see,
I'd see, right? So I will tell you, when testing Sicilian recipes, I would use just municipal tap water. And I would use bottle. And for long rise, kind of high ferment doughs, it does matter. And at a certain point, the yeast just can't overcome, those heavy metals, and you don't get that balance, and you just don't get the rise. So I have done tests. It does make a difference. Not huge, but especially on something like a Sicilian or a square where you really need that crumb, right, and that kind of air structure and gluten structure to form. It is a subtle, but it's so easy to do that there's no reason why you shouldn't.
Okay. That's good. That's good advice too. But I think the key thought in my head is, test it, see.
Have to.
See for yourself. Is it worth it? Is it something that you need to do? Or are you just creating a lot of extra work for yourself? But I think, filtration isn't that hard, right? Like you can run a filter on something and
get it from your fridge. 90% of fridges nowadays have a filter like that. That's got to do what you need.
And that will get rid of the heavy metals, right? That's, and
a lot of the chlorine too, which are the two problems.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. So, all right, there you go.
So solved.
It's all solved. We've solved world pizza problems here tonight on the Pizza Roundtable. I think we're at the end here, Jim. Unless there's anything else you want to add, tell us where to find you on social media and how to stay connected.
Boy, if you type in Jim Cooks Food Good wherever you consume your content, you will run into me one way or another.
Awesome. And of course, for Pizza Club, you can find us on Instagram. I Need Pizza Club, all one word, and we'll be posting news breaks throughout the week. So tune in to those to get the other news updates. Otherwise, Jim, this has been a lot of fun. I always enjoy chatting with you about pizza news and keeping us abreast of all the important things that are happening in Pizza First. I look forward to chatting again next week. To everyone watching on YouTube, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and want to see more videos like these and others, click it down there, get a thumbs up. You can like the video. We've got lots of other great content coming in the weeks ahead. So please keep an eye on the channel and check back in with us. Otherwise, we'll see you again here next week for another episode of the Pizza Roundtable, part of the Pizza Club Network. Thanks so much, Jim.
See you,
everybody.